YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Obi back with another video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave me a comment, share the video, all of that. So lately, I've been getting a lot of messages, especially on my IG. And if you don't follow me on my IG, make sure you go follow me live with Obi TV on Instagram. But basically, I've been getting a lot of messages from some of you guys saying, what is the first pistol I should get? And if I got my first pistol, what is the second pistol, third pistol? And so I thought I might as well make a video. I might as well make a video of my personal opinion. If you disagree with this, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you would change, what you would take out, what you would put on, or if you agree with my whole list. So today we're going to be discussing my top five guns I think every gun owner should own. So these are the top five. These are your first guns I think you should own. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to do it from the first gun I think you should own to the second, to third, fourth, and fifth. So that's what we're about to do. So let's get into it. Now, little disclaimer, because we are operating on business hours, some of these might be, still on the clock, just like some of y'all got jobs to do. These got jobs to do, but we're going to keep everything safe and clear everything before handling it. So first up, we got my Staccato XC. Let's go ahead and clear that. So first on my list, what I think that every gun owner should own is a full-size gun. A full-size gun, mainly because out of a full-size gun, it's gonna come with a 5-inch barrel. If you're gonna try and get the advertised velocity out of most, ammunition, out of most firearms and stuff like that, you're gonna need a certain barrel length, especially when you start getting into 40 Smith & Wesson 10mm. They advertise that velocity with a certain barrel length. So the longer the barrel, the more velocity you're gonna get out of it. So that being said, majority of full-size guns start with a 5-inch barrel. Some go 6, 7, and they just get crazy after that. But with a full-size gun, I feel like this is the best place to start your practice, to start going to the range. Practicing is going to give you the least amount of muzzle rise. You're going to be able to stay on target. Follow-up shots are going to be faster, and it's a good platform to start with. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go out and grab a Staccato XC for your first time. The majority of people is going to start off with something like this, like some type of Glock 17, something like that. A full-size Glock, even. Majority is going to be a 9mm, so it's not going to be like no 20 or something like that. But majority is going to be a a 9mm. So this is a Glock 19X. So basically, it's a 17 frame with a 19 slide, just so you can have a shorter slide with the full round capacity. And that's another thing. When dealing with a full-size gun, you are going to have the most amount of ammunition that you can fit into that. So basically, your round capacity is going to increase drastically. So that's why I would recommend a full-size gun. Now, something like this would work, but you do get a shorter slide. But another thing with a full-size gun is, me personally, any opportunity I can get to conceal a full-size gun, I'm definitely going at it, because first, I can get a full grip on the gun. I can get the most control out of it, and I am the most accurate with it. So why not? I mean, if I'm going to be in a self-defense situation, why not carry and shoot the thing that I'm the most accurate with? So that would be a full-size gun. So that's why I recommend the first thing you should grab if you're going into, firearms and stuff like that, will be a full-size gun. A full-size gun of your choice. Go to your local range, practice, try some options out, see what works for you. But the first thing I think that you should grab is a full-size pistol. Let's go on to the next one. Now, the next thing I feel like you should grab as a gun owner, especially for home defense, I feel like you should grab a rifle. So you grab a full-size rifle. Now, what we have here is my Radian Model 1. Let's go ahead and show clear. So we deal with all safety. Safety comes first on this channel. So all firearms are safety checked. Nothing in there. Now, let me just pause and tell y'all, this is probably the smoothest bolt you will ever hear. Listen to this. And that's just the sound of the spring. So it's just like, it's like butter. It's like butter. But anyways, let's get back to it. So the first thing that I think you should grab is a full-size rifle. Now, just like I said with the pistols, majority of rifles advertise, especially 5.56, 223. I don't know if you really want to go under 14. A 14-inch barrel with that. Like, I don't know if you really want to go under that to get the best out of that, because honestly, I feel like 14 is good. But like I told you guys about the pistol, majority of manufacturers advertise velocity, especially with 5.56, 223, out of a certain barrel length. This one right here is a 14.5 pinned and weld, so it makes it a full-length rifle, because you cannot take this thing off. So overall, it makes it 16 inches. And I think a 16, like if you're going to go with one, if you're going to go with one, I think something like this is good. Or 16-inch. I think a 16-inch is the perfect length, especially when you're working with 5.56 or 2.23. So you can grab you a full-size rifle. Now, I know a lot of people are AR people, but you don't have to be, because you can also go ahead and show clear with this bad boy. This is my Arsenal SAM 7. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. Safe direction. Wow, we good to go. So this right here is my Arsenal SAM 7 SF. And SF stands for side folding stock. Well, that was kind of stiff. Side folding stock. So in case you want to, make it a little bit more compact than it already is, you can definitely do that. But anyways, this is my SAM 7 SF, which is chambered in 7.62 by 39, and it's a full-length rifle. So you have a full-length AR rifle, and then you have a full-length AK-47 rifle. So I mean, to each their own, like whatever you feel comfortable using, then I mean that's basically up to you. Now this is going to be a bigger round. This is obviously going to have way less recoil. You're not even going to feel this. You might feel a little bit, but because this is a milled receiver, this thing is heavy. This thing is way heavier than this one. So, and if you're talking about reliable, this I would say is like that Staccato. This is definitely like the Glock. This thing is gonna run. This thing is meant to run through, dust, dirt, everything. It's meant to put them rounds down range regardless. This one you kind of have to keep a little clean. So it depends on the AR that you're working with. Some of them can run a little dirtier than others. Some you need to clean all the time. So it just depends on which one you grab. But you cannot go wrong with a full-length rifle, especially for home defense. I would recommend it only for home defense if you have land, because then you start getting into the question of over penetration. But also, you need to know your threat. You need to know your threat. If you have time to figure out your threat, and if you have a lot of threats coming, hands down, grab this. Hands down, I recommend you grabbing this. If you have a lot of threats coming, this is basically going to give you the best shot of defending yourself. Well, either one, whichever one you're more accurate with, whichever one you're more confident with, that's the one I think you should go with. Now, if you own land, now a lot of people, own farms. They own a lot of land, and some of their threats might be a little further out than the rest of us, because, in the inner city, stuff like that, your threat's not going to be 300 yards away. But if you own your own land, that's possible. So in that case, I would recommend something like this. Something like this. Now this right here is an 18-inch barrel. This is my Daniel Defense DD-M4 B7 Pro. And this is an 18-inch barrel. So you're going to get that full velocity out of that 5.56, 2.23, whatever it is. You're going to get the best velocity out of that. So that's why I put that boy on there, so you can really see out the distance. Really, like if you're pushing past 300 or something like that, I feel like this could be your best bet, because when you're working with a smaller barrel, a shorter barrel, then like I said before, you're gonna lose velocity, you're gonna lose power down range and stuff like that. So when you get a longer barrel, that increases your accuracy, and it definitely increases the power that your round has down range after it hits its target. So that's why I said, if you have a longer property, like if you have a farm or something like that, I would recommend this as your rifle and one of your pistols like that. So if you have a bigger property, definitely go with a longer barrel, just because you have more real estate to protect. So that's what coming in. 2 is a rifle. We got my Radian Model 1, Daniel Defense DD-M4 B7 Pro. Either one of these will work. Or an Arsenal SAM 7 SF. SAM 7 SF. Either one of them will work. So just grab one, be the best you can be with it, be the most accurate you can be with it, and you good to go. Practice, practice, practice. Now, after you've acquired, your full-size pistol, after you've acquired your full-size rifle, now you can play around a little bit. Now you can, get a little, now you're a little comfortable, you're a little, more confident and stuff like that. Now you're ready to dabble on into the next stage. Now let me know what y'all think the next stage is going to be. For me, the next stage is compact pistol. Right here, we got an FN 503. Is this the 503? Yeah, 503. FN 503. They get 502s, 507s, 509s. They get confused about FN 503. And honestly, I feel like this is a slept on pistol. You're not going to like the feel of it because it does feel a little awkward, but once you shoot it, you're going to be surprised. Guaranteed you're going to be surprised. And look how thin this profile is. So why I recommend a compact pistol is because not every situation that you're in is going to allow you to conceal a full-size gun. So you might, be in work attire or like dressing up and stuff like that, and you really can't have something like this hanging on you because you're most likely gonna print or it's gonna drag you down or whatever the case may be, to where you cannot bring with you your full-size pistol. So that's where this one plays a major role. Now this one, like I said, is going to be way more snappier. This one, surprisingly, I'm telling you, if you haven't shot a FN 503, go out and try one. Go out and try one. It'll definitely shock you. So, and this one does come with a flashlight attached to the frame, so that makes it even more convenient. This one does not have an optics cutout, so you can't put an optics on it unless you want to get some, Smith & Millen one out for you. But this one is meant to be super, super concealable. Like, look how thin this is. This is about my finger. Like, that is mad thin. Like, that's crazy right there. Like, concealing this is going to be a breeze, and that's what it was meant for. I think this one holds like 9 or 10 rounds or something like that. So this is definitely going to be a game changer. So whenever you cannot conceal carry your full size pistol, I feel like a compact will definitely play a role. And after you master, shooting a full size, then you can come down and try to shoot your compacts and stuff like that. So compact, I would definitely put as your third option. Acquire a full-size pistol. And the full-size pistol is also really good for home defense. In case you want a full-size gun for home defense, you got sometimes 20 rounds, 21. If you're dealing with the FN 510, that one comes with 10 millimeter, 22 rounds. FN 545 is 18 plus 1 round of 45 ACP. Come on now, you like this? Not a good it's not good for home defense. 10 rounds. I mean, this is basically what them lawmakers want you to have at all times. But in real life, in realistic situations, that's not gonna cut it. Because what if there's like 5 people? Then you better be freaking John Wick with them shots. But anyways, like I said, coming in third, I feel like you should get a compact pistol. Now, if you're coming into your fourth piece, now you're stepping it up. Now you're stepping it up with the big boys. So now you're ready to get into something. You're fairly accurate. At this point, you should be fairly accurate with everything that you have. You should know your ins and outs. You should know how to break them apart, clean them, which one works for you, which one doesn't work for you. So I think the next thing that you should grab should be a compact rifle, either SBR or pistol, whichever one will work for you. I feel like this kind of gives you a more versatile selection when you're picking your environment that you're going in, because you can't always you can't walk around with this. I mean, you can, but I feel like this is going to make you a bigger target than anything. So if anything happened or anybody come in and want to do something stupid, they're going to look at you first. Because they got to eliminate the threat. And if you had this strapped to your shoulder, you're the first one out the game. But if you have this in like a backpack or something like that, or if you're going hiking and you want to, be discreet about it, this is going to give you that power. Follow-up shots are going to be quicker, and you can attach something to it to make it quiet, especially with this Q Honey Badger. Before I jump into this, let's go ahead and show clear. This one should be clear. Nothing in there, but we always treat everyone like they're loaded. So there's nothing in there. Safe direction. Wow, we back in business. Anyways, this is my Honey Badger by Q, chambered in 300 blackout. 300 blackout is one of the rounds that's meant to be quiet. So that's why you got to attach that piece to the end to make it be quiet. But anyways, like I said, I feel like once you've mastered all of those, then I feel like you're ready to step your game up and come to the big boys, come to the big league. And that is a compact AR pistol or AK pistol, whichever one you want to do. Because now you're basically getting to a point where you're getting each firearm for every different type of situation. Because at first, with your full-size pistol, I feel like you can use that as concealed carry, you can use that as home defense, you can use that when you're hiking, all of that stuff. You can conceal it, you can open carry it, wide variety. But now, once you got a little bit more, you feel a little bit more confident, now you can have specific pistols or rifles or guns, whatever, for different environments, for different situations. So now this can be like, okay, so now I want this as my home defense gun because I can attach something to make it be quiet. You don't want to be blowing out your ears, especially in your house. The rifles is going to be loud. The rifles definitely going to be loud. So if you want something like this that you can kind of maneuver, you can kind of clear houses without having, a long 18 or 16-inch barrel trying to clear houses. You can maneuver through them corners and really stay kind of compact, stay kind of concealed, because as a self-defender, you are reacting. You're never acting. You're acting to an action. So somebody did something to you, or somebody broke into your house or came into your space, then you have to react. That's why I feel like you want to keep your body as compact as possible, especially when clearing a house. So that's why I recommend we're not even on the fourth. We're on the third. This is the third thing. I'm tripping. The third one you should grab is a compact AR pistol or AK pistol, basically a backpack gun. So for that, I got my Q Honey Badger chambered in 300 Blackout. And you know that's pressing gotta be in the bag with it. Now, what do you guys think the fourth gun? Now, when you're coming here, now you're okay. Now you're used to recoil. Now you're trying to be more accurate, trying to get faster shots. You're doing a lot at this point. So what do y'all think is gonna be fourth? Fourth on my list, every gun owner should have, is that big old 12 gauge or 20 gauge. I mean, depending on what kind of person you are, 12 gauge or 20 gauge shotgun. And for that, I am putting in my Benelli M4 H2O chambered in 12 gauge. Man, there's really no talking with this. I know a lot of people you got to have that pump. That pump is supposed to scare everybody away. And in some cases, that pump's supposed to scare everybody away. But that shot, is going to definitely send them running. Now, a 12 gauge is going to do the most amount of damage that you would want to do in your house. But other than that, you're going to be, taking a 50 BMG for self-defense or protection. And I don't think you want to do that. But I feel like a 12 gauge is a very versatile platform, because you could use either slugs, you could use buckshot, you could use birdshot. And a lot of people will say, you don't want to use birdshot for home defense. Show me somebody who survived from birdshot, especially if you're going to be putting multiple rounds in it. If you don't, really feel confident with birdshot, then you could definitely use buckshot. And, that's what you call knockdown power. I know a lot of people say there's no such thing as knockdown power, but shoot somebody with a 22 and then shoot them with a 12 gauge. And then you'll be able to understand the definition of knockdown power, because this is probably one of the best firearms, one of the best platforms that's really just stopping power all in one. So 12 gauge, definitely, you can't go wrong with a Benelli. You cannot go wrong with a Benelli. This one is used by the Marines, and just like the Radiant Model 1, just like the Staccato, this is the smoothest 12 gauge shotgun that I've ever felt. Just listen to this. That's like glass. I could literally use this as a violin. This thing is just music to my ears. Benelli M4 H2O. Man, my mind is getting mixed up with these things. But yeah, I feel like a shotgun is definitely a step that you can take. And this one also comes with a pick rail, so you can attach. Usually for my shotguns, I like to use the iron sights. But for this one, you can throw a optic on it, be a little bit more accurate. And a lot of people see the John Wick movie. So not only is this used by the Marines, so it's battle proven, but it's used by John Wick. And especially with this new generation, John Wick has more credibility than the Marines.
What?
It's just crazy right now. But coming in fourth, I feel like the fourth option, because this will basically give you a wider variety of what you can use in a self-defense situation. If you are lucky enough to get a little time before that threat comes, and you can pick which one that you can get, then, that's up to you at that point. So, but what I recommend, fourth coming in is a 12 gauge or a 20 gauge shotgun, whichever one you want to go. Fifth, the final, last but not least. Now, I know none of y'all is probably going to guess this. I can almost guarantee none of you guys is going to guess this one. But actually, drop it in the comments. Let me see what y'all think. I think that you should get for your fifth and final piece. Now, basically, I need to warn you guys. I need to warn you because nobody warned me. I need to warn you that if you ever get to this point in your life, it's never going to stop. It's never gonna stop. This is the last one. It's never gonna be the last one. So if you ever at this point of your life, expect more. So just go ahead and invest in that 100 rifle gun safe because you're going to fill it up. You might need a couple of them. Anyways, jumping into this thing, what I think you should grab if you're only grabbing 5, which I don't think this is going to happen. But if you're only grabbing 5, the last thing I think you should grab would be this bad boy right here. Now, as I told you in the beginning of the video, all of these are always 24/7 operating in business hours. So you see you got stuff right there, but let's go ahead and make this safe. Drop that out around, and now we have, let's go ahead and show clear. So there's nothing in there, and no, we're not gonna shotgun it into there. We're gonna place it slowly and lock it in. But what we have here is a Smith & Wesson 327 Performance Center. It's a revolver, a 357 Magnum. Pretty sure it's a 327. If I'm not, I know y'all will correct me, but pretty sure it's 327. But it's a pug nose. Look at that. That's like a 1.5 inch barrel, and it's a revolver. Now, a lot of people are gonna be like, "Why would you get a revolver, especially if you have a compact and a full size pistol?" Because a revolver, I feel like a revolver is the most reliable platform. It's the most reliable, compact, concealable platform that you can grab. Because I mean, with a revolver, there's no slide to reciprocate. Least amount of moving parts that you have on a firearm or any situation, more reliable it's going to be. And with a revolver, it's super simple, and it just dates back. It's been proven. A revolver. Now, I'm not saying a revolver won't have problems, because I mean, there's been cases where the timing's off on the cylinder or something like that. But I feel like it's going to have less problems. I've never experienced a problem with a revolver, but I feel like a revolver is going to have less problems than a semi-automatic pistol. And for the most part, when you get a revolver, you're either going to get a 45 long Colt, a 357 Magnum, a 44 Magnum. So you're going to get some pretty brutal rounds. And for this is 8 rounds. 8 rounds of 357 Magnum. Now, this is a nasty one. This is that up close and personal. And another thing I like about the revolver is you don't really need a safety because you got that double action trigger pull. Like, you're not gonna accidentally pull it. If you accidentally pull it, you deserve to accidentally pull it, because that's a heavy trigger pull. But with these performance centers, they're super smooth. Look at that. Now, if you want to put it in single action, no, viewer discretion is advised at that one, because that one is super light. Like, that one will go off with anything, especially with these performance centers. Look how light that is. The first, like, it's just crazy. Like, it's really crazy, but that makes this shoot even more smoother. And I feel like I actually carry this. Like, for certain situations, I'll be rocking this bad boy right here. I feel like with a revolver, the fight you're going to be in can be a little different, because sometimes in situations where you pull out, something to defend yourself, the person's going to grab it. And if you're dealing with a pistol, if you don't have one in the head, then that's too bad. But if you have one in the head, then you have one shot, and it's really a wrap. Now, what I was talking about is with a pistol, basically, like, let's say you have it in your coat pocket or something. You have it in your purse or something. And a situation happens where you don't have time to pull it out, because firearms, especially firearms, the self-defense training, you always have to wait for your moment. So you might not have enough time to pull it out to where you just want to basically shoot through your bag if you have it in your bag. And the problem you face with that is if you have one in the chamber, then you have 1 round. But if you don't have one in the chamber, there's no way you're going to be able to cock that thing and get it off. And even if you have one in the chamber, it's not going to be able to cycle in your bag. It might, but you have a higher possibility of a malfunction, because you might have stuff in your bag that's going to, prevent it from fully cycling that round out and putting in a new round. So I feel like that brings a really big problem to where the revolver, that cylinder is going to move regardless. There's nothing that's going to keep that cylinder from moving unless you basically sit there and hold the cylinder. Basically, you have this action versus this action. So shooting this from like your pocket or shooting this from your bag, you're going to have a better chance of getting your follow-up shots rather than shooting this one. You want to shoot this from a bag and then you take it out and then you want to defend yourself, most likely you're going to have a jam or you're going to have something wrong to where you're going to have to clear it. This, you can like shoot from your bag and pull it out and finish the job and you're good to go. So that's why I put the revolver, especially this one. I would definitely recommend it because a lot of issues with the revolver is the round count. Most likely you're going to get like 5 or 6 rounds, but this one comes with 8 rounds of 357 Magnum or 38 Special if the 357 Magnum's too stout for you. So that's why I put the revolver on the list of the top 5 guns that I feel like every gun owner should own. And we're going to end it at that. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think about my list. Let me know what y'all would think. Because if you guys have your list, I want you to go in the comments and I want you to number it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pistol, rifle, shotgun, whatever your list is, number it. And I want to see what you guys think. Because this is what I think. This is what makes sense in my head, but maybe one of you guys could change my mind about something like that. So I feel like in the gun industry, you're always learning. So I'm always open to learn new things. I mean, if it's gonna work better for me, I'm definitely open. I'm definitely not closed-minded. So if y'all think that something else will work better, let me know in the comments. But we're gonna end this here because I know y'all are super busy and y'all gotta get back to your day. But I appreciate y'all boys for tapping in, and make sure you follow me on Instagram, Life with OBTV on Instagram, especially for my giveaways. But we're gonna end that right here. And also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave me a comment because I want to see what y'all talking about. Leave me a comment, and until next time, I'll catch y'all boys in the next video.
5, 4, 3, 2, I let one go.